into home base. Oh my gosh, this is like one of those mornings where I'm like, oh, I have plenty of time. I can do this and I can do that, and I've got plenty of time. And I did not have plenty of time. Good morning, everyone. We have Linda and we have my Courtney. Hello, Courtney, Courtney, Courtney. So the entire hour, we're going to sit here and I'm just going to say the word Courtney. I'm just kidding. We're not. I could, but we're not going to. All right. It is Wednesday, and I am just going to have a great. We are going to have a great morning live. Good morning, Claire. How are you? So again, I woke up at 4 o'clock this morning, like I always do. I went to the gym, like I always do. It was leg day, so my legs were not having it. Let's just put it that way. My legs were like, as I was walking out of the gym. But I went and I did it. And then I got this idea in my head that, oh, you know what? We have plenty of time. Lonnie, just run to Albertsons and pick up some stuff because I found this food. Okay, I want to show you this. I found, because I'm a vegetarian. Y'all know that. Hello, oh, Glory. Happy Wednesday. And I found the most amazing plant-based salmon patties. And let me show you because I want you to have a visual because I know what they look like, but just in case you want to try them out, I want to show you what they look like. So it's good. Okay. So the brand name is Good Catch, and they are a plant-based salmon patty. And what's irritating and why I'm telling you this story is because I bought it at Albertsons next to my house. All right. Sounds good. We're all on page with this. And I tried it for the first time yesterday, and they were so yummy. And how you cook it is it's frozen, and then you put it into a pan, like a frying pan, with a little bit of oil, and then you put a lid on and you cook it for like 12 minutes. But what happens is it gets really crunchy on the outside and it's really tasty on the inside. And sometimes I miss certain foods, and I miss fish. And I've never really tried a whole plant-based fish thing before because I don't know, it sounds kind of weird. So anywho, I found this. I ate it yesterday with some white rice and some of, I have to show you this too. I just have to show you this sauce. It is, let me see here. Japanese barbecue sauce. Okay, let's see if they have this one. And they do not. So let me show you what I have. No, I can't. Oh, they do have it. Never mind. Okay. So I'm like, oh, I tell you, I am all over the place today, but that's okay because it's Wednesday. Now, this stuff right here, if you have this available at your grocery store, I'm telling you right now, run, do not walk, pick this up because this stuff is amazing. And I had that salmon, that plant-based salmon patty. It was all crunchy on the outside. I put it over some white rice, and then I put this over the top of it. It was heaven. It was the best meal yesterday. And so I woke up hungry, and I was just like, you know what? I want to get some more of that salmon. So I went to Albertsons, exactly where I got the first one, and I go marching my little self in there at 6:30 this morning, and I'm like, I'm going to get me some salmon. And then, hello, we have Kelly, we have Dee, we have Kelly, we have all sorts of peoples. So I go marching myself in there, and I'm like, I'm going to get me some more fake salmon. And I couldn't find it. They had everything all moved around. And then there was like a really nice guy, and he's like, can I help you? And I'm like, thank you, kind sir. You're so sweet. Thank you. I'm looking for fake salmon. And he's like, what? And I'm like, yeah, I got some salmon here that's not real salmon. It's plant-based salmon. And I got it right here. And I was standing right where I bought the first one. And he's like, Well, I don't see it. And I'm like, oh no. So he's like, let me go talk to the meat department. And they're like, we don't know what she's talking about. So then I'm like all depressed. But okay. And just so you know, I do this in real life also because you know how I'll be here and I'll be looking for something, whether it's a photo or if I can't get my little setup to work, and you all have to watch me obsessively like try to make it work for 10 minutes. Well, that was me at Albertsons at 6:30 this morning. I'm like, no, I am not leaving without my fake salmon. And he's like, okay, well, I'm telling you, we don't have it. I'm like, you have it. And so I'm going up and down aisles. I'm looking, and I mean, I refused to give up. So I'm sitting there and I'm like, Lonni, you know what? You got things you got to do, girl. You got to move on. Let it go. So then I'm like, okay, you know what? Maybe, just maybe, because my life seems really kind of chaotic right now, but in a good way. I like, maybe I bought it at Target because Brandon and I went to go get groceries not too long ago. And I'm like, yeah, that's it. I bought it at Target. Well, I didn't buy it at Target. I bought it at Albertsons. And so long story of this is I finally gave up. I finally came home and then I'm like, I'm going to Google it. All right. I'm going to Google that brand and I'm going to see where in town it's sold because this is driving me crazy. I got things I have to do. I have, I have my morning coffee with you all. I can't be running around town like a mad woman looking for some fake salmon. So I come home and I Googled it and I tell you it was sold and they have it in stock at the first Albertsons I went to at 6:30 this morning. So then part of me is like, get back in your car, Lonni, and you go find that. And I'm like, no, you have to be a responsible adult. Darn it. You're 59 years old. Start acting like an adult. So then I'm like, I don't want to act like an adult. I want my fake salmon. So anyway, long story short, this is just the kind of day I'm having. This is the kind of live we're going to have. But I'm on a mission because they sell it at Vaughn's, Walmart, Ralph's, and Albertsons. So I have 4 opportunities to find my fake salmon. And darn it, I will be on a mission to find it because I want it. It's great. If you're looking for a plant-based food, I think it was excellent because here is how I'm going to cook it today. Yes, I went totally cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs and obsessive, and I still had some of it at home. I have one more patty at home, and I am just, you know what, truthfully, it's like part of just my weird way of coping. It's like a coping thing of like a whole childhood thing, but I'm going to cook up, how does fake salmon taste like? Courtney, it tastes exactly like a salmon patty. Now, I am assuming and expecting you all to know what a salmon patty tastes like. And we ate that quite often as a kid because I already told you we did not have any money as a kid. And my mom was very good at making her groceries go, but she would get a can of salmon and then she would mix it with an egg and saltine crackers and then make patties out of it. And that's how she used to make salmon patties. And so it reminded me exactly like that. It tasted really good. But what I'm going to do with it today, what's the name again? Let me show you. What I'm going to do with it today is I kind of came up with an idea, and that's why I was so obsessive and I wanted to share it with you because I think that this sounds really yummy. But I'm going to take that salmon patty and I'm going to cook it just like I did yesterday. But then I'm going to kind of crumble it up and I'm going to make a salmon taco. And what I'm going to do, here you go, Dee, let me get this over here. Okay, here you go. There you go. It's called, the brand name is Good Catch, and it's a plant-based salmon burger. And you can make a hamburger out of this. I mean, that's how they show it there. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to cook it like regular, so it's a little crunchy on the outside, and then cooked on the inside. And then I'm going to crumble it up a little bit and I'm going to put it in a taco. And so while I was at Albertsons, before I knew I couldn't find my salmon, I got some cilantro and a lime because I like to make my own tartar sauce for in my taco. And I'm going to have mayonnaise and onion and then cilantro with a little lime for the sauce. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make my taco using this salmon burger. And then I'm going to have my tortilla, put the salmon in it. Then I'm going to put my little tartar sauce in it with a little cheese and a little hot sauce. And that's what I'm going to make for my meal today. And I was super excited about it because I thought it tasted really good. And part of me wanted to find the additional patties just in case like Robert wanted one or something like that. And so, yeah, that's me. I'm just letting you know I have this weird obsessive personality on and off of camera. So that was my morning. That's going to be my lunch. I'm super excited about it. And I will find me some more salmon patties because I tell you, having the plant-based diet, sometimes it can get a little redundant. And sometimes I struggle to find something new that I can incorporate into my diet. And then I did find a recipe, and I believe it's on my Pinterest board for the morning show lives. And if not, I'll check it and I'll make sure that it's on there. But ooh, no. Okay, I just got an email that I think might be exciting, but I'll look at it later. What was I saying? What was I saying? What was I saying? What was I saying? Oh, I got Brandon to eat tofu because I found a really great recipe for tofu. It's a sticky tofu. And what I do for the tofu, now you got to hear this one. I take the firm tofu and then you just pat it in a towel just to get the extra moisture out. Then you dip it in cornstarch. You fry it up so it's nice and crispy on the outside. And then you take that Japanese barbecue sauce. You got to get the hot and spicy one. While it's in the pan and cooking, you put that in and it glazes it up so it gets nice and crunchy. And then you put that over white rice and that's so good. That's our dinner tomorrow because, oh my gosh. And one of the reasons why I'm kind of scattered and I'm a little is tomorrow we get Brandon's U-Haul and we pack him up tomorrow, and then he leaves first thing Friday morning, like at 4:00. He's going to drive to Arizona, and then he's going to get moved in. He's actually going to the airport and flying back Friday night. I'm picking him up at the airport at 10 o'clock at night. He's coming home. He's grabbing his car and Pam, and then he is taking off Saturday morning to start his next venture in life in Arizona. And again, I couldn't be more proud. And at the same time, just I couldn't be more proud. I'm just going to leave it at that. I am not going to put any sort of I don't know. I'm going to miss him. I mean, 100%, I'm going to miss Brandon. That's just the way it is. We worked together for 4 years, so I saw him daily. And then he's been living here since April, and I've been seeing him every day. And I am going to miss seeing Brandon every day. I mean, it's just, I think where I'm struggling and where I really need to come up with the right thing is I need to find the right emotions, because part of my healing journey and part of my journey when I was drinking and my sobriety is I only had 2 emotions. I mean, I had angry and I had pissed off. I mean, those were my only 2 emotions. I didn't have any other ones. So in my sober journey, it's been really kind of eye-opening for me to start being like, no, Lonni, you know what? You're human. You have more than 2 emotions. You have things called feelings. Now you need to take a look at it and figure out which one are you feeling. And so I've been catching myself lately saying I'm going to be so sad. I'm going to be so sad. But I'm not going to be sad. I'm happy for him. I'm just going to miss him. So it's been really kind of eye-opening for me to put the correct emotion with the correct feeling. And I just keep on saying this, and I hope y'all never get tired of hearing this, but such a, it's so eye-opening and it's so amazing to be almost 60 years old, and I'm still figuring out myself, even at this age. I mean, even at this age, I'm like, I need to figure out things called feelings. So I share a lot of this with you because I always want you to know that it is never too late, regardless as to whatever age you are. It's never too late to be like, you know what? I'm going to just enhance on this part of my life. I'm going to do this now. I'm going to do that now. So it's pretty cool. It's really cool. And oh my gosh, Courtney, I know that you've seen the numbers, but my TikTok has just gone crazy. I mean, and I am really thankful for that. I did that post where I just was talking about my journey. I mean, you all know my journey. I talk about my journey every single day and how I want to and what I want to do with fashion. Well, TikTok has taken this and gone crazy with it. It's been seen 696,000 times. And I have gotten probably 30,000 new followers in 2 days. And so my little count on my TikTok now shows 1.1 million followers. And I'm just like, wow, this is really cool. How long have I been sitting here being like, I'm stuck? I am so stuck on, yeah, Courtney says, yes, I love it. Yeah. And it's so weird, Courtney, because it's like, how many conversations have we had here where I'm just like, I don't know what to do. I mean, I don't know how to be seen again on that platform because I just felt like I lost my voice. And it wasn't until my birthday that I was just like, you know what, Lonni, you got nothing to lose. Just say what you want to say, be a journey, be a voice. And it just resonated. And I see all the comments and I see all the people stitching it. And they're just like, oh my gosh, thank you so much. It's about time somebody stands up and says that I don't want to fade away. And it really sinks home on when things like that happen, how much this conversation needs to be had on a daily basis. But it doesn't stop with me. We all need to just be like, I'm going to live my most authentic life and be that person, because you have no idea who you might inspire, not even knowing that you're inspiring them. I mean, if you're sitting there and you have an outfit and you're like thinking like, wow, yeah, you know what? I really want to wear this outfit, but I don't know. I don't know if I should. And then you wear the outfit and you feel good about it and you go home and your day's over. Here's the thing. There might be somebody standing behind you, whether your age, you're older than you, younger than you, who might just be looking at you going like, wow, that's a really cool outfit. I think I'm going to wear something like that too. So you don't have to be in front of a camera and you don't have to be on social media and you don't have to have a following in order to make an impact for somebody that you might not even know that you're making an impact. Because I notice a lot of times, like for myself, I get the most like bang for my buck when I'm just being my truly authentic self and not trying to like do like a viral this or a viral that. So just be your true authentic self and you're going to inspire others because this is a group effort. And again, instead of trying to change society, we just need to we just need to rethink the way that we deal with the information we're being told. There. Now I have to show you my outfit because I show you my outfit every morning. Now, this is that little top that I got at Free People when I went and I exchanged it. Remember, I brought Robert in and it was his first time in a Free People store. Remember that? Yeah. So anyway, when I wore it, it's very low cut and it's still low cut, but I have my little overalls on and I really like how the sleeve is coming out from the overalls. And another thing I really like about it is you see here how the straps for the overalls are here. Then you can see a little bit of skin here and then you have your cute top. But what I want you to see is the my how I cuffed up the bottoms of my overalls, because we were looking at fashion the other day, and remember I showed you the jeans that had that really big cuff, and big cuffs are really trendy right now, and these overalls are super long. So what I want to do is I want to show you how I cuffed them up on the bottom, and it looks really cute. Courtney says, I just got new flared loose pants and I love them. Where'd you get them from, Courtney? Did you, yeah, what brand are they? Where'd you get them? So let me show you. See how on the bottom? And I think it gives it like a cute little trendy look. Because, I mean, I've always rolled up the bottoms of these overalls just because they're so long, but I've never done that one big cuff, and it really changes the look of the overalls, which is to me amazing, because who would have thought that just doing something like that would be, I think, cute and trendy. Oh, you got them from Amazon. Awesome. Very cool. You have to send me send me a picture, send me which ones they are. I'd love to see them. Okay, so what we're doing today. Today is we're having a skin-tastic day. Kelly says, I love the big cuff on the overalls. Yeah, you know what? I mean, and again, I've worn these now for probably, I don't know, maybe 4 years. And I think with that one big cuff, it really changes the look. So we are having a skin-tastic day. And the reason that I'm saying we're having a skin-tastic day is because I want to bring attention to our skin. And I want to bring attention to the importance of doing a self-examination and looking for anything that you think that might not look good. And then also to some prevention on how we can protect ourselves from the sun. Because I live in Southern California. I've been here my whole life, and I know I have sun damage. And I made an appointment. I'm going to see the dermatologist on the 24th of this month. And I'm going to get my skin all checked out. And I have a couple of little things on my neck that the doctor said was okay, but literally, here's how he looked at it. Yeah, it looks fine. I'm like, are you going to look a little bit closer? You know, I know you're like 15 years old, but I know your eyesight's not that good. So I'm going to go see a dermatologist. There are some areas of my skin that I'm just like, I don't know. I mean, it looks fine to me, but I'm not a doctor. So I am going to start going in and doing skin checks. I'm thinking at least once a year. I mean, I get my mammogram once a year, so I'm going to do that. And then I started thinking, I'm like, well, you know what? There's going to be 364 days of me not being in front of a doctor. And yes, so Okie Lori says, drink your water to hydrate your biggest organ, skin. Good luck at the derm. Yes. You know what? I always say that water is super, super important, and you want to keep your skin healthy. But also, too, we got to wear that sunscreen. So I'm going in and I'm going to get some things checked. But I wanted to, again, talk about like the days that we're not in front of a doctor. How can we check our own skin, and what are we supposed to look for? Because I'm not a dermatologist. I have no idea. So I came up with, I didn't come up with it, but I found an article from the American Academy of Dermatology Association. And it says how to perform a skin self-exam. And I thought it would be something that, again, I know it's not the most glamorous subject, but I think it's an important one. And every once in a while, we need to look at things like this, because you know what? We're important. And this is a part of self-love, self-care, and all of that good stuff. So let me pull this over here, because again, I have all sorts of good technology, and we're going to take a look at how we are supposed to do a self-exam. Because I'm not going to tell you anything wrong, because this is important. All right. So again, this is from the American Academy of Dermatology, and it says anyone can get skin cancer, regardless of skin color, age, or gender. It is estimated that 1 in 5 Americans will develop skin cancer in their lifetime. When caught early, skin cancer is highly treatable. So we need to take the time and we need to do this and we need to all take a look at our skin. And it says how to perform a skin self-exam. It says examine your body in a full-length mirror. Examine your body front and back in a full-length mirror. Then look at the right side and the left side with your arms raised. Okay, we can all do that. It says look at your underarms, forearms, and palms. See, now here's the thing is I never would have thought about looking at my palm. I mean, that's just the whole like crazy thing of where skin cancer can develop. So look underneath your arms, again, your forearms and your palms. It says look at your legs between your toes and the soles of your feet. It says look at the backs of your legs and the feet and the spaces between your toes, your toenails, and the soles of your feet. Again, I know that we very much will be like, okay, well, yeah, I don't see anything, but we really need to take the time to take a look at those places where you wouldn't think that there would be one. It says use a hand mirror to examine your neck and scalp. See, there's the thing is like what we know. I mean, I personally always I always don't think about, but our scalp, because you have to think about that. It gets the most direct sun. And there is no sun. I mean, okay, I'm not going to say this, but we are going to look for it. But is there sunscreen for your scalp? Is there sunscreen shampoo? I mean, it's kind of interesting. I mean, if they haven't ever if they haven't invented one, I think we should have like some sunscreen shampoo. I say neck and scalp. And then I know like on my back, I have a mark on my back. It's been there for a while, but it's like, I don't know. I'm just going to have him take a look at that one too. And it says use a hand mirror to check your back and your buttocks. So you got to pull your pants down and check that also. And then let's see here. So I want to know okay. I want to know what we're looking for though. Okay, here, this is what I was looking for. It says what skin cancer looks like. It says skin cancer can appear on your body in many different ways. It can look like a changing mole or a mole that looks different from the others. A dome-shaped growth, so it's going to be just that rounded growth. A scaly patch, a non-healing sore or a sore that heals and returns, a brown or black streak under your nail. See, now that is let's talk about that one, because you can actually get skin cancer on your nail beds. So for example, I mean, I have acrylic nails on. I always have nail polish on. But while I'm getting my nails done, I'm now going to have to take the time and I'm going to have to look and I'm going to have to see and I'm going to check my nails during my nail appointment, because I never knew that you could get skin cancer in your nail beds. So moving on. And I know that this is not the most romantic subject and it's not the most fun subject, but sometimes self-love, self-care, we just have to get to the nitty-gritty of it, and we just need to just take that time and be preventive, because I would rather have us be preventive than not. Then it says to find skin cancer in your body, you don't have to remember a long list. Dermatologists sum it up this way. It's time to see a dermatologist if you notice that a spot on your skin that differs from others, changes, itches, or bleeds. So that's basically what you're looking for. You're going to do a self-exam. You're going to take a look. You're going to look for any sort of moles or any sort of like they said, scaly spots or something like that. And then if it starts changing or if it just doesn't look right, then you need to go see a doctor. Now, Brian, my tattoo artist who was here in Temecula, he actually Yeah. Courtney says, I never knew that. And then Linda says, I didn't know you could get skin cancer under your nails either. You know what? And here's the thing, my friends, is like I said, I love my lives and I love being goofy and I love looking at fashion and just keeping it like that. But sometimes also, too, I think that we just do, like I said, we need to take the time to talk about these things because you're important. And I'm glad we're taking a look at this because there are areas here that I never knew. Now, getting back to Brian, one day I went in to get a tattoo from him, and he had a big old Band-Aid on his forehead. And I'm like, dude, what happened to you? You know, did you fall? And he's like, no, I had a skin cancer, and they just removed it. And so I asked him, I'm like, well, how did you know it was skin cancer? And he said that it was like it kept bleeding. And he says it wouldn't heal and it kept bleeding. So he actually had one removed from his forehead and he had one removed from his nose. So again, if you see anything that changes shape, that might look a little funky, like that has that dome, do not wait. Go in and get it checked. I think it's better to go in and have somebody say, it's nothing, than to wait and say like, gosh, I wish I had have gone in. Now, what was I going to say? What was I going to say? I did it again. Lonni, you need to stop doing that. So, okay. So I'm going in. Oh, that's one of the reasons, like this little growth right here, that actually doesn't seem like it actually seems smaller. But I have a little spot right here that my dermatologist was like, instantly, she was like, nope, you need to go get that checked out because it was not here a month ago. And it's because it was such a quick growth that she thought I should get it checked out. And then I have a spot on my foot, truthfully, that has been bugging me and it kind of hurts. So when I made the appointment, they're like, do you want to see the nurse's assistant or do you want to see the doctor? And I'm like, well, I have a spot on my foot that, I think it's a wart, but I'm not sure because it kind of bugs me. And she was like, well, you know what? Since it's on your foot, I think you should see a doctor because, it's a little bit trickier to remove than somewhere else. So I'm actually going to see the doctor, and we'll see. But I'm really proud of myself for having some self-care. Now, what can we do to prevent skin cancer or to at least minimize the damage from the sun? And of course, sunscreen, that's the easy peasy one. But sometimes, sometimes putting a daily sunscreen into your routine, it's easy, but it's not easy. I mean, sometimes we just forget that extra step. So I was wondering, sunscreen, is there like a daily lotion that we can use for all over on our skin that we can put on instead of like a daily moisturizer? So I am looking right here. I was thinking like, I don't know, kind of like just a regular sunscreen, because what's happening and what is pulling up here, I'll show you what's pulling up. These are all sunscreens, and this isn't like a daily moisturizer. What I want and what I'm looking for is something like a Vaseline lotion, like a Jergens, that is a daily lotion that we would put on our skin anyway, because we should always keep our skin nice and moisturized, but just has some sunscreen into it. I don't know why that's so difficult for me to find, because everything is, let's see, daily lotion that has sunscreen in it. Let's see if that pops up anything. Oh, here's one. Okay. I think we found a good one. Okay. Yes, I did. And this passes my shopping approval. So this is an Aveeno product. Now, my mom had super allergic skin. She had a lot of allergies. And the one product she could always use was Aveeno. And what this is an Aveeno Protect Hydrate Moisturizing Body Sunscreen Lotion. So this has SPF 60 on it. It's whiteless, it's paraben free, and it is like a daily lotion that you can use that has sunscreen in it. Because I know for myself personally, if I'm like, well, I'm going to put a sunscreen on every single day, and it's like some real thick kind of like lotion, like sunscreen that's going to make, leave your skin all white, I don't think I would use it every day. I'm just trying to be super honest with you. But something like that, that's an actual daily moisturizer that has the benefits of sunscreen in it, I think I would use that. Let's see here. Courtney says, I use makeup. It protects your skin and you look pretty. Yes, my sweets, but you got to protect your arms. You have to protect your hands. You have to protect your neck. And I think, you see, and here's the thing is like, as Linda says, I've tried tinted moisturizer for my face and it contains sunscreen. Maybe by Nivea. Yeah, and I mean, I'm very good at putting on my daily sunscreen on my face, but there's more to my body than just my face that's getting exposed to the sun. And again, I'm being completely honest with you, but I'm all about putting sunscreen on my face because I don't want wrinkles. And then when it comes to the rest of my body, I'm like, oh, you guys are on your own. Good luck, I mean, I'm more worried about wrinkles and I'm being, I don't know, is the right word shallow, but I'm being very honest that I 100% every day sunscreens on my face because I don't want wrinkles. And then when it comes to the rest of my body, I'm like, you know, hmm. Kelly says, I use a CC cream with an SPF in it and regular sunscreen on arms and chest and any exposed skin. Kelly, you are going to get the award for the best skincare person on here today because it's something that I need to incorporate and it's something that I need to get past. So so surfers have really good ones, Sunbum, Decathlon, and zero waste ones. Yes. Now, Okie Lori, here's a fun story. Sunbum actually started, and their corporate office is in Encinitas, which is just about 30 minutes away from here and my hometown. And they reached out to me when I first started on social media, and they're like, hey, we want to send you some Sunbum. And I absolutely love their products. It is environmentally friendly. I've done my research. It doesn't affect the oceans or anything like that if you go swimming. But I find that Sunbum has a little bit of a white tint to it. And where I'm thinking, truthfully, I'm going to wear it more dedicated is if I can put it like in a lotion that's not going to leave a white film. Kelly says, laugh out loud. Yeah, no, just necessity. Strawberry blonde, see-through skin, burn at a drop of a hat. Well, at least you're doing it. I mean, Kelly, there's people out there that, they might just be like, I'm just going to burn. But I'm proud of you for wearing sunscreen. So whatever product you use, make sure you put it on your face, but put it on the rest of your body. And like what Okie Lori says, make sure that it is environmentally friendly because not until Sunbum sent me that stuff that I started talking about it, that people were like, because I would say it was environmentally friendly and people were like, there is no such thing as environmentally friendly sunscreen. And I'm like, oh, but you are wrong because there are certain ratings on sunscreens and some sunscreens do hurt the environment if you put it on and then you go into the water. And here's what I'm thinking. And I just really just came up with this thought. I'm like, if it hurts the environment and it hurts the little fishies in the ocean, what is it doing to my skin? Because my skin's soaking that stuff up. So I want to make sure that whatever I use and whatever product I put on my body, it is 100% not going to hurt me as much as it's going to hurt the little fishies. So I liked that Aveeno product. I'm definitely going to be getting that. I'm going to drop that into my store right now. And then I am curious because I had a friend, and she's still my friend, but I keep on saying I had a friend. I just don't see her anymore because I don't work in the corporate world anymore, and she retired. But her husband went to get his hair cut. And he's sitting there at the barber, doing her thing like they always did. And she's like, hey, Chip, you need to go and you need to see a doctor because you got something weird going on your scalp. And it was skin cancer and had his hair, it was either a hairdresser or a barber, but had they have not found that and said something, they wouldn't have caught it. So I'm wondering, is there sunscreen for your scalp? So is there sunscreen for your scalp? And let's see what it says. And Sunbum came up with one. And let's see what this is. This is, well, there you go. And it's Sunbum. And it actually is for your scalp. So let me bring this over and let's take a look at this. This is interesting. I never even knew this product even existed. But this is a scalp and hair mist that has SPF 30 in it. Now, you might be like, Lonni, that's an overkill. But no, it's not really an overkill. Because again, we might be like, oh, my hair is going to protect my scalp. That's not necessarily the case. And if you can protect yourself just by putting a little spray on your scalp, we got to do it, people. And especially me, with now that my hair is buzzed, you know, I will look into getting some of this because I want to be safe. It has 37 reviews at 3.5 stars, but it says best purchase of my trip. Oh, so this one says it's greasy. Okay, I am torn with this because I love the ease of just spraying it all over my scalp so I don't get those annoying sunburns in my hair part, but it's too greasy. I used it on clean hair and it instantly looked like a 3rd or 4th day hair. Well, all right. Well, that's not the best news, but at least we know that there's products out there that we can use. So now there's also this. This one right here is, okay, so here's a different product. It's same concept. This one is at Sephora. And this one, it says a scalp and hair sunscreen and color protected mist with SPF 30. So this one, this one has like 3.5 stars. And this is terrible. It makes my hair so greasy. Thank goodness no more hair part burns. Too easy to use. I love this product. I used it on 2 beach vacations and every beach day last summer, and my scalp and hair stayed protected. It smells great too. I never go to the beach without it. So, I mean, the smell is not for me. Maybe it's sage. I can't get past the odor. Love this. Easy to apply. Well, you know, all right. So let's just call it for what it is. I don't think, you know, you're spraying product in your hair to put on your scalp. Some might not like the smell. Some might think it's greasy. But again, it's all about protecting your skin because we are having a skin-tastic, episode. Let's see here. You can always wear a hat. Yes, Courtney, you can. And I do. Actually, when I walk Indy, I always wear a hat. But I know that I'm being a little like extreme on this. But I think if we go extreme and then we just do what we do best, it's going to, if we go extreme and we meet somewhere in the middle so that we're protecting ourselves, then it's a job well done. Now, I'm going to bring this up because this is something that I have in my car. And I did it again to protect my tattoos. But I think everybody should look into doing this. And what I did is I have my windows tinted. And it's, if I could get pulled over for a ticket for it because I kind of went a little dark because I thought it looked cool because I have a black car. I have a blacked out car. And I'm like, ooh, I need to have black, you know, like dark tinted windows. And it protects me while I'm in the car. And so I'm talking to the tint shop and I'm like, yeah, I want this car to look cool because I really like my car. I have a 4Runner. And I'm like, I want my car to look cool. They're like, okay, we'll put this tint on. And then the guy turns around and looks at me and he goes, well, what about the windshield? And I'm like, oh, I don't want my windshield tinted. I go, I can barely see over the steering wheel. I don't want it to be tinted. And he's like, no. He goes, you need a UV protector on your windshield because your hands are on the steering wheel and then the sun's coming through the windshield and it is basically baking your hands. And I'm like, not my hands. So You have to think about it. I mean, we do that all day long. We drive with our hands on the steering wheel, and then the sun's coming through the windshield, and it's baking our hands. And whether or not we have tattoos on our hands, or if we just have hands, well, if we have hands, but we always talk about like, I don't want to have age spots on my hands. And for me, my hands started showing my age. Before I got hand tattoos, I was looking at my hands and I would reach out to get something and I'd be like, wow, my hands have been around. My hands are 58 years old and I have some sunspots and I have some other spots. So I think even if you don't have tattoos, look into getting a UV protector on your windows, front, back, and sides, because it's going to help you not feel like you're under a microscope when you're driving around. And I thought that that was kind of like a moment, and I wanted to share that with you. Again, it's a clear coat. You can't even see it, but it will protect you while you're in your car. And that will driving gloves. Yes. You know what? I need to get like a beekeeper hat just to kind of get this all safe. Some driving gloves and then those big old glasses. And then nobody will get in my way when I'm driving because they're going to turn around and look at me and I'm just going to be like, And so all sorts of ways to protect yourself. And like if I'm going, let's just say I'm going to go to a baseball game, go Padres, and I'm going to be sitting out in the sun, I'll actually wear a long sleeve shirt. I don't care how hot I'm going to be. I'm going to protect my skin and I'm going to protect my tattoos. And it's just the way it is. I mean, I look at it this way. I'm going to be hot one way or the other. I might as well be hot and protecting my tattoos. And when I go for walks, like if it's super hot and I guess I should have brought that over. So y'all get to see my stats there for a while. We have 12 concurrent people. I have on a chat rate. I have 35 views so far. And the average viewer is sitting here and watching us for 13 minutes and 8 seconds. I always do that. I get to going. I talk to my camera there. I look down and I forget to look at me. So, and then you got to see our chat. And so I'll cover up completely. And if I go for a walk, I'll wear knee-high socks. And it's just a matter of, again, staying safe. So we've been responding a lot to comments, and I have not had any rude comments yesterday. And I was a little like, aw, where's Doug and Roger and Irvin? Because they have been giving some spicy comments, and maybe they just got sad, or, maybe they don't like it when, we talk back or something like that. So I really have no comments for the day, which is good because, rude comments are not fun. But we have to think about what we're going to do tomorrow. And tomorrow is our fashion day. And I think, you know what? I've been having a lot of fun looking at fall fashion. I am just waiting. Yay, mean people took the day off. Yeah, Valerie, you know what? They're like, I am no match for her and her squad, and I'm just going to just look the other way. And I'm like, yeah, because you know what? We're a bunch of ducking warriors, and we'll take you out at your knees. Mean people. So I am waiting, and I am so ready for colder weather and sweaters and jackets and boots. And I mean, it's August and I'm wearing Doc Martens and I'm wearing overalls, but it's really weird because here in California, I think our high today is going to be 86. And while I'm very thankful for that weather, why I'm very, I am so glad it's only 86. It is just it's so odd. It is such odd weather this year. And, but I'm okay. you know what, I think we're going to have a cold, wet winter. And I'm getting mentally prepared by thinking about all of my outfits. Yeah, Linda, it's my favorite too. I like looking at stuff like that. And like I said, for today, I know that this was not the most glamorous subject, but I really think that part of our journey is going to be taking care of ourselves. And sometimes we just need to do that. And we need to take that time to look at ourselves and just look for something that needs to be addressed. And so I'm going to do that. And I know I've mentioned this before, but I haven't made my appointment yet. But I am going to get the whole colonoscopy thing. So I'm going to do the alien probe, and hopefully everything will be okay there too. Dee says, I wish fall was longer. The thing is like where I live in California, we only have 2 seasons. And the season is either hot or we either have summer or fall. We don't really have a winter. We don't have extreme weather. And so it's either hot or cold, which I'm not complaining, but sometimes it would be nice if we had a little bit more transition. Kelly says, it poured here for 2 days. No tornadoes this round, but humidity has left, just hot now. I know where Brandon is going in Arizona. It's monsoon season, and we were looking at the little radar yesterday, and they're having some crazy thunderstorms. And then, because y'all know I'm a weather nerd, I am in Alaska. They had like some flooding because of a glacier like broke in half, something crazy like that. And then I did not realize there was a fire in Hawaii. It's like, I don't know. I'm 59 years old, and I was like, I cannot. I mean, I know they have volcanoes, but I didn't know that they had fires also. So I thought that was pretty interesting. Courtney says, sorry, I missed yesterday. Yeah, we talked a whole bunch of smack on you, Courtney. So you know what? You didn't miss anything. I'm just kidding. We didn't. We would never talk smack on our Courtney. We were always like, where's Courtney? So we're going to look at fall fashion. And again, I will have all sorts of sizes and everything like that. I kind of want to, I'm thinking how I want to kind of go into it, because I don't want to always be like, hey, we need to buy new stuff, because I know that right now I need to be really, I can't afford new things every single day. Even though I wish I could, I can't. So what I'm thinking about doing is I think I'm going to do it to where we can take things out of our closet, perhaps that we already have, like the overalls that I'm wearing right now, and just changing them a little bit, like putting that bigger cuff on the bottom and then making them a little bit trendier. And then that way we can have kind of an updated look without having to spend a whole lot of money. Because I'm going to tell you right now, probably the funnest accessory that I've gotten is that harness. And to me, when I'm getting dressed, if I'm not wearing a harness or suspenders, I'm like, this is boring. And another thing that I am all about these days is tube tops. And not just wearing them on their own, but using them as a layering. Here I am talking about fashion already, and it's not tomorrow. But think about getting summer tops. Think about like tube tops, vests, those little denim shirts. And then you're going to wear them on top of tank tops or t-shirts or bodysuits. And it's really going to give your wardrobe a cute little pop going into fall. And it's just, I think looking at things like that, like going into your closet and taking things and just perhaps putting them with something different that you never thought about and getting it all done up, I think is fun. Kelly says, how about a Robert dresses you for a day or two? He can shop your closet. Truthfully, I love my son, but I do not trust him, because he would go in there and he would pick out the most not cute. The most ducking ugly outfit. And he'd be like, wear this. And I'd be like, no. And so I mean, I don't know. Maybe I will. Maybe I'll have Brandon pick me out an outfit for tomorrow in honor of his last day. I'll see if that's what I'll do. Oh gosh, yeah. I was going to say I would do that, but yeah, I'll see if they'll do that. I'll see if they're willing to go into my closet and pick something out and then I'll wear it just for fun. And, and that's just the whole thing. Or what I can do is I can go in the closet and I can close my eyes and then I can pick something out because I know in my closet where my things are. Because I have my closet, I have it organized so that when you walk in, I have all of my tank tops and like little camis. And then I have my t-shirts, and then I have my pants, and then I have my jackets, and then I have my long sleeves. I have a walk-in closet. And then I have my jackets over here, and then I have like a little stuff on top. And we'll do a closet tour absolutely once Brandon moves out. Because when Brandon moved in, my closet turned into a semi-storage unit because we have a storage unit, but I didn't get the biggest one. So I have a lot of furniture in my closet. So once Brandon gets everything moved out, I'm going to actually move my desk over a little bit, and then I'll get the stuff out of my closet and we'll do a closet tour. Maybe not this coming week, but the week after that, or maybe next week, we'll do a closet tour and I'll show you how I organize my closet. But I was thinking about like just going into my closet, closing my eyes and picking something out and then seeing if I could make a cute outfit out of that. So if I can't get Robert and Brandon's participation, I will definitely do that. And it's really weird because like going back to TikTok, when I first started TikTok, I was all up into Robert and Brandon's face and I'm like, you're going to be on social media with me. You're going to do this and you're going to do that. And they didn't want to do it. I mean, it was like, Mom, it's your platform. You do it. And so a lot of times I find myself not asking them to participate because in the beginning I was like, we're going to be a TikTok family. And they're like, no, we're not. And so I will ask them, but if they don't want to, I'm not going to like be like, oh, you're mean or you don't love me or you should do this or blah, blah, blah. So yeah, I only have 2 more days with Brandon, but I really like his girlfriend. She is so cool. And I am very, very pleased. I really like her. In fact, I went through my closet and I got her a bunch of stuff out of my closet. And I'm sitting that with Brandon. So then that way, because I know that they're going to be on a budget and I know that, it's hard living out on your own and it can be expensive. So we're about the same size. So I picked her out a bunch of cute clothes and I actually gave her a pair of Doc Martens and I'm sending that with Brandon because I want her I don't know, she's starting a new journey in her life. And like I said, living out on your own is expensive. And sometimes just having somebody be like, hey, you know what? I thought of you. Some of the things are new. I got her 2 new pairs of shorts. And so, yeah, and it's just, it was just something that I felt like I wanted to do. Kelly says yeah, go spend time with your boys. Best of luck to Brandon. Here's the thing is I love my boys, but if I try to be like, all like, hey, I'm going to spend time with you. They're like, why are you following me? And I'll be like, I don't know. Because me and Indy just like, we are the same people. We just follow them around all day. But yeah, Robert and I go to the gym in the morning. So that's just kind of like our hanging out time. And then Brandon and I are actually going to sit down and watch a movie tonight. So that's going to be our farewell movie. And so I'm going to be sitting there and he's going to think like I'm crying over the movie, but I'm not really because it's not a sad movie. So he's just going to be looking at me like, why are you crying? And I'm going to be eating my little skinny popcorn. I'll be like, I'm not crying. You're crying. But I can't be sad because I'm not sad. I'm just going to miss him. And he's like, I'm just a phone call away. And I'm like, I know. But I don't know. I'm getting all mishy. Like I said, spend quality time bonding with your kids. We could not be more bonded if we tried. I got to tell you, Courtney, this last 6 months or so has been such a huge growth for us, just between counseling, people finally just stopping and listening to each other and acknowledging each other's existence. It's been a really good 6 months. And I know from the bottom of my heart, as a mom, I cannot hold on to them and I cannot expect them to never leave. And even though Brandon is physically going to be in a different location, he's not leaving me. And it's part of me, it's bittersweet because it's taken us this long to have a good relationship, but it's something that we needed to do. It's something that we did well. And it's something that I'm going to celebrate. I refuse to make this sad because we have fought so hard and long to have a healthy relationship that I refuse to be sad. I am not going to allow myself to be sad. So tomorrow, I'm going to be all like, we're looking at fashion. We're going to look at this. And you're going to be like, oh my gosh, why does she look like the Joker from Batman? And I'd be like, I'm not sad. I'm happy. You have to be patient with me for 2 more days because on Monday, he'll already be gone. I'll have everything moved around and it's just going to be the next journey of our lives. But until then, you're stuck with this hot mess who's trying to figure out the difference from being sad and who's trying to figure out what emotions are. So you get to have the looking at fashion with the Joker from Batman. So I'm just going to be doing that. And that was our Skintastic skincare episode for today. But in all honesty and all joking aside, I really do hope that you take a moment, whether you're going to bed tonight, whether or not you are in the mornings when you get ready, when you get out of the shower, please just take a couple of minutes out of your day. You don't have to do it every single day, but maybe mentally at the first of every month, just stop, take a look at your skin, see if you see anything different. You know, if you see something and you're like, you know what? On the first of the following month, be like, it's either changed, it hasn't changed, it's the same. But in all honesty, I do these kind of episodes because I really want to get out the word that you're important, your self-care is important, and I want us all to just have that level of care for ourselves that we take those 5 minutes and we take a look at our skin. Because I tell you right now, if you see something and you don't like it, don't think twice about going and getting a medical professional to take a look at it and either tell you you're fine or you're not. But you deserve to have that quality of care. And if I have to remind you at the first of next month to do yourself a little skin check, I definitely will, because that's something that we need to incorporate into our daily routine, or at least a monthly routine. Linda says, when my son went to live in London, he said I had empty nest syndrome. Oh yeah, no. Come Monday, you're going to be here and Indy's going to be in a high chair behind me with like a bonnet on and a bib and with like a little pacifier sticking out of her neck or her mouth. I already know right now I am fighting the urge to go get a cat. And not that I don't want a cat. I just don't want to get a cat for the wrong reasons. And I don't want to get a cat because I'm sad. Every time I go get Indy food, this is me walking by the little cat enclosure. I'm like, one day, one of you's coming home with me. And you know what? And truthfully, one day I might. Right now, Indy, she does well with Pam. So if I wanted to get a cat, it would be perfectly fine. I saw one, I went there and I was just looking at the cats and some guy was filling out an application. And I'm like, ooh, which cat are you getting? He's like, I want Spartacus. And I'm like, oh, I want Spartacus. And I tell you right then, had Pam not already been here, I would have tucked Spartacus under my arm and brought him home because for one thing, he was a cool, old-looking, scruffy tomcat. And for another thing, his name was Spartacus. So when that happens, when the day happens and I meet my little kitty cat baby, I'll bring it home. But until then, Indy's going to get extra snuggles, extra attention. And not that she doesn't get it 24/7 anyway. So I am off. I am going to go put together my Amazon Live. I am so appreciative of all of you. I will be back tomorrow. Again, I'm going to try to find some fall fashion and try to figure out how we can maybe take things out of our closets that we already have and just kind of bring them into 2023. Again, it can be super easy, just like giving your pants a big tuck. So we will do that tomorrow, and I appreciate each and every single one of you. Remember, be bright, be bold, be brave. I will be back tomorrow. I love you dearly, and until then, I don't know. Until then, oh, sounds good, lovely. Spartacus, cool name. I know. Even whatever cat I get, I'm gonna name it Spartacus. I mean, that's just a stellar cat name. All right, everyone. I will see you all tomorrow.